There's something oddly comforting about places that never change. You know the kind I'm talking about, the ones that smell the same every time you walk in. The same wooden floor that creaks in the same spot. The same man behind the counter who greets you with a nod, even if he doesn't know your name. On the corner of Maple and 8th, tucked between a laundromat and a bakery that always seems closed, there's a tiny general store, barely wide enough for two people to walk through shoulder to shoulder. It's the kind of shop you'd miss if you weren't looking for it. But once you stepped in, you'd never forget it. That's where this story begins. Hello and welcome to Everyday Epiphany, where simple stories spark soulful insights. Sit back, enjoy the journey, and may it brighten your day. I didn't even need anything that day. I just needed a break. I had taken a walk to clear my head, one of those walks where you don't really have a destination, just motion, just escape. My phone had 20 unread emails, my mind was louder than traffic, and everything just felt heavy. That's when I found the shop. No sign, just a faded green awning and a little bell above the door. The air inside smelled like cinnamon and dust. And comfort, a quiet kind of comfort, like sitting with your grandma while she knits and says nothing. Behind the counter was an older man with silver-rimmed glasses and a dark blue cardigan, reading a paperback. He looked up, gave me the gentlest smile, and said, "Take your time." I wandered through the narrow aisles. Wooden shelves lined with canned goods, homemade jams, postcards with faded images of the town's lighthouse, and little odd things you'd expect at a flea market. A music box missing its lid, a stack of old records with no covers, a toy soldier missing a leg. And near the back, a handwritten sign said, "Coffee and kindness, both free." I smiled. There was a small table with a carafe of hot coffee and a tin full of oatmeal cookies. Next to it, a little notebook titled Stories from the Shop. Inside were pages and pages of messages from people who had visited over the years. "I came here after my mom passed. Your smile helped more than you know. This place reminds me of my childhood. Thank you for still being here." He gave me an umbrella when it rained. Wouldn't let me pay. I read entry after entry, like I had stumbled into some sacred archive of unnoticed moments, tiny acts, big feelings. Eventually, I bought a small jar of lemon marmalade I didn't need, just to support the place. When I handed the man a $10 bill, he looked at me, then reached beneath the counter and placed a small wrapped package beside the jar. "It's for you," he said, nodding toward the gift. "What is it?" He shrugged. "Something small, but maybe something you need." I unwrapped it as I stepped outside. Inside was a pocket-sized book of poetry. The first page had a note, "For the days when your heart is heavier than your hands." I stood there on the sidewalk, marmalade in one hand, a book in the other, the traffic of the world rushing by, and I felt still. That night, I started reading the poems, and the strange thing is, I didn't cry because they were sad. I cried because they were kind. It's funny, isn't it? How we expect kindness to come in grand gestures, roses, speeches, surprise parties, but the real kind, the kind that stays with you, it's usually wrapped in something small, quiet, and almost invisible. Like a handwritten note, a shared cookie, or a smile from a stranger who somehow knows you needed it. That night, I picked up a book a friend had gifted me but I hadn't touched in months. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Macusi. I'd seen it on a coffee table once and thought it was just for children. But reading it that evening, after visiting that shop, it felt like the book was breathing kindness straight into my chest. There's a line that says, "One of our greatest freedoms is how we react to things." And another one I kept rereading. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" "Kind," said the boy. Simple words, gentle art, a whole book that feels like a warm blanket. And just like the man at the shop, the book didn't try to fix anything. It just reminded me that it's okay to be soft in a world that feels sharp. I've thought about that shop often since then. Sometimes, when the world feels too much, I imagine the little bell over the door, the scent of cinnamon, the quiet kindness of someone asking nothing in return. And I wonder, maybe we're all someone else's small shop. We might not know it, but the way we greet people, the way we listen, or even how we just exist, might be the very thing someone else needs that day. Kindness doesn't need a microphone. It doesn't need to be noticed. It just needs to be. So, the next time you hold a door open, offer a smile, or give something without expecting it back, remember, you might be their shop at the end of the street. And they might remember you for the rest of their life. Thank you for being here with us at Everyday Epiphany. If today's story touched your heart or sparked a thought, subscribe and stay with us. Your next epiphany might just be one story away.